Hey class, this is your instructor, Pat O'Hara here. It is Sunday at around 3:30 Eastern Time, which means it's getting to the mid to late afternoon, and I know that all of you have a very important assignment due today, which is the rough draft. Uh, Rough drafts are great because they'll benefit your grade on the final draft as long as you take into consideration the feedback that's provided and put some work into it after the fact to polish things up. The best research papers I see are from students who submit a rather complete rough draft, get a lot of great feedback on it, and then use that feedback to make an even better final draft. Now, as it's getting later in the afternoon, some people may be thinking that they might not get to finish the rough draft tonight. And I could certainly understand that impulse, right? It's an assignment that is quite comprehensive. It goes by nearly the same rubric as your final draft. What I want to tell you today is that if you have some of it done, please submit it tonight by 11:59 p.m. That way you have an on-time submission. The benefit of submitting it tonight is that I'll be able to give you some feedback throughout the week, and then you'll be able to use that feedback on your final draft. So even if it's an incomplete draft, it'd be better to get some feedback early rather than no feedback at all. And it'd also be better to not have to worry about that 10% late penalty that will be assessed if anything's submitted after that due date or after tonight's due date. To let you in on not really a secret, but something I mentioned in my last video, if you do end up losing points because you're missing some of the critical elements on the rough draft, it's okay. I'm going to allow people to resubmit their rough draft to earn those extra points. So please keep that in mind too. The only points that you won't be able to recover from, or you won't be able to recover rather, are potential late points for turning it in late. If you miss points on like the writing or citation category, if you miss them on the overall content categories throughout the rubric, that's something that could be filled in later. And since this is a rough draft, I'm really not looking to use it to butcher anybody's grade. Submitting rough drafts late make it difficult for me to be able to provide enough feedback. And say, for instance, somebody uses the full late grace period and submits the rough draft next Sunday. Well, in those cases, I might not actually be able to grade it until the following weekend, which will mean that for the most part, if you want to submit the final paper that's worth 300 points on time, you'll be submitting it with no feedback, which is something that I never want to do. So please get those rough drafts in tonight. If something's popped up that you need an extension, please let me know. If you can't get them in, if it's not even a possibility to get them in tonight, please do your best to get them in very early in the week, and then that way I could have the time that I need to really go through these and provide you with some feedback. On that note, I hope you are having a great weekend, and I look forward to reading those drafts. Thank you.